Have you ever thought that cutting your hair into a short pixie after 60 might make you look older, maybe even harsher? I used to think that too. But then, I decided to give it a try, and the result honestly surprised me. In today's video, I'm going to share my journey with you. From the hesitation and worries before the cut, to that very moment when I saw myself in the mirror with a pixie for the first time. I'll also tell you the real pros and cons, and why this experience left me feeling more confident and youthful than I ever expected. If you're also looking for a little change to feel fresh and inspired every day, I believe this video will give you both encouragement and some practical tips. And if this is your first time visiting Glow After 60, don't forget to hit subscribe, because here we explore all the little secrets and real-life experiences to help us live beautifully and joyfully after 60. Now, let me take you back to the moment, right before I cut off my old hairstyle. Before cutting my hair into a pixie, I'll be honest, I was nervous. For years, I had kept my shoulder-length hair. It covered my fuller cheeks, and it also hid the thinning spots in the back. But the truth was, every wash took forever to dry. And every morning, I spent almost half an hour just trying to make it look neat. Sometimes when I went to the market or met friends, I would hear comments like, "Your hair looks so thin these days." They didn't mean any harm, but inside, it stung a little. That's when I started thinking, maybe I should try something new. But then came the fear. Would a pixie make me look older? Would it even suit my round face? I believe many of us, after 60, have felt the same way, wanting a change but holding back, afraid of how others might look at us, and even more afraid of how we might look at ourselves in the mirror. One day, though, after staring at my reflections for quite a while, I told myself, it's time. I'm over 60, yes. My hair might be thinner, it might be gray, but I still deserve to feel fresh and new. If not now, then when? And that was the moment I walked into the salon, with a mix of nerves and excitement, ready to find out if a pixie cut could really be that little revolution I needed in my life. The moment I sat down in the salon chair, I felt my heart beating a little faster. The stylist put a black cape around my shoulders, smoothed my hair back, and asked gently, "Are you ready?" I smiled nervously and whispered, "Let's do it." Then came the sound, snip, snip. The first locks fell onto the cape, sliding down to the floor. I caught myself holding my breath, watching strands of the hair I'd kept for so many years disappear in just seconds. It felt like letting go of more than just hair. It was letting go of hesitation. The stylist kept checking in, tilting my head slightly, saying, "Trust me, this will frame your face beautifully." I nodded, half excited, half worried, glancing at the growing pile of hair beneath the chair. Every snip made me wonder, what will I look like? Will I regret this? Or will this be the best decision I've made in years? Finally, after what felt like both minutes and a lifetime, the stylist brushed off the last little hairs, turned my chair toward the mirror, and that was the moment I saw her, a new version of me staring back. When the chair finally turned to the mirror, I saw a familiar face, yet she looked completely new. The pixie cut made my eyes brighter, my face lighter, and most of all, I felt like I was finally seeing myself, beautiful in a way that truly fit my age. I couldn't help but smile. There was a sense of relief, of youthfulness, of confidence flowing through me. I no longer felt the need to hide from my age. Instead, I felt the strength and grace of being 60 plus. Friends I met later were stunned. "Wow, you look so much younger." My grandchild even shouted, "Grandma, you look so cool." And that's when I realized I hadn't just changed my hairstyle, I had changed my energy. Ladies, sometimes a small decision, like cutting your hair short, can open the door to a whole new version of yourself. 60 isn't the time to shrink back. It's the perfect time to shine in your own way. And if I can do it, I truly believe you can too. Give yourself the chance to try, and you may discover a fresher, brighter version of you waiting on the other side. After living with a pixie cut for some time, I discovered so many surprising benefits that I had never thought about before. The first one is convenience. Back when I had longer hair, I used to dread washing it in the evenings. It would take more than an hour to dry. On rainy days, my hair would still be damp when I went to bed, and that was so uncomfortable. But with a pixie, I just towel dry for a few minutes, let a fan blow, and it's done. I remember once on a trip with friends, while everyone was still blow-drying their hair, I was already sitting back, sipping tea and chatting. They laughed and said, "Pixie really is the hairstyle for a free spirit like you." And honestly, they were right. I felt so carefree. The second benefit is fullness. My hair had been getting thinner and weaker over the years, but with the short, layered pixie, suddenly it looked fuller, healthier, and bouncier. A close friend of mine, who had also been struggling with thinning hair, decided to try Pixie after seeing me. Now, every time we meet, she says, "I wish I'd done this sooner. It hides the thinning, and it's so easy to manage." And the third, perhaps the most precious, is new energy. A Pixie doesn't just change the way I look, it changes the way I feel. I no longer feel like I'm trying to look younger. Instead, I feel beautiful for my age, vibrant, confident, and modern. I'll never forget going to a class reunion and hearing my friends gasp, "You look so radiant, what's your secret?" I just laughed and said, "The secret is simple. Sometimes you just have to dare to change." To some people, a pixie is just a short haircut. But to me, it has been a little gift. A reminder that no matter our age, we can always feel fresh, confident, and beautiful if we give ourselves permission. Of course, no hairstyle is perfect, and I want to be honest and share a few things to think about before you decide. The first is maintenance. To keep a pixie looking sharp, you really do need trims every 4 to 6 weeks. Once, I let mine grow out too long, and when I looked in the mirror, I hardly recognized the style anymore. It had lost its neat shape and just looked untidy. After that, I promised myself regular salon visits, not as a chore, but as a treat for myself. The second is that not every pixie suits every face shape. One of my friends, whose face is quite long, tried the exact same cut as mine, but it didn't flatter her. It made her look a little harsh. Later, she switched to a pixie with longer bangs swept to one side, and suddenly it balanced her features beautifully. That's why I think it's so important to find a stylist who understands your face and can adjust the cut to suit you. And finally, personal style. Pixie gives you a modern, lively look. But if you still want to keep a soft, feminine touch, you might need to pair it with light makeup or accessories. Personally, I like to wear small earrings or a thin scarf. Once at the local market, a vendor said to me, "You look so tidy and elegant." It was such a simple comment, but it lifted my whole day. So yes, a pixie has its demands. Regular trims, the right variation for your face, and a little styling touch. But to me, those small efforts are more than worth it for the confidence, freshness, and joy that the pixie brings. So, looking back, Cutting my hair into a pixie at 60 plus was one of the best choices I've ever made. It wasn't just about style. It was about confidence, freedom, and embracing the beauty of this stage of life. If you've been thinking about making a change, I hope my story inspires you to take that step. Because sometimes, all it takes is a little courage, and you may discover a whole new version of yourself waiting. I'd love to hear from you. Would you ever try a pixie cut? Or have you already gone short? Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below, so we can encourage each other. And if you haven't yet, don't forget to subscribe to Glow After 60, where we celebrate beauty, confidence, and joy in every chapter of life. Until next time, stay glowing and keep shining beautifully after 60.